Now there are times when we photographers take quite a few images at one location. So when we get back to the computer, we may have a number of images which look very similar as thumbnails, but we need to select one from a larger batch to work through in the develop module. Now if you look at the screen here, you can see from this image to this image, all of those were shot at the same location and are similar in some ways. Now we can include as many images as we like, but for this demonstration I'll just use 3, I think. So I'm going to select this one. Holding the Shift key, I'll click this one, which looks attractive, and I'll choose one of these two. Once I've done that, I'm going to go down to this option and choose the Compare View. Now this is one of those times when I think we can use that shortcut key to get rid of the panels all around the outer edge. So Shift Tab is going to be useful in this situation. Having said that though, I do need to show you something on the film strip. So I'm going to leave 3 of the panels hidden, and I'm going to hit F6 to bring back the film strip. So let me explain what we have here. We have a selectable image here and a selectable image there. You can see the little white frame that appears around the outer edge. We have the 3 thumbnails shown at the bottom. This one is our selected image. If I do nothing, that's going to be the image we're going to eventually use to work through the develop module in Lightroom. This is the one we're comparing it with. It's the candidate. Now we can see that by looking at the thumbnails. We can see a little white symbol at the top right, which signifies we're looking at the select option. The little black symbol signifies we're looking at the candidate option. And this one, as yet, we haven't looked at that at all, so it doesn't have anything on it at all. But looking at those 2 images, I think this one is much nicer. So I'm going to discard this one. I'm not discarding it from my computer, of course, I'm just removing it from compare mode. And I can do that by going down here, because it says make that one our select. So effectively it's going to make the candidate into our select. But when it does that, it'll bring up the 3rd thumbnail that I highlighted. So if you like, it's presented me with the next image saying, what about this one? Is this any better? Well, at this point, I don't think it is, so I would be quite happy at this point to use this as my selected image and hit done to finish. But just before we do that, we've got a couple of other options here. Here, I can choose to swap these around, so if I did want my candidate to become the select, I can just switch them around in that manner. And of course, if I've got a lot of images selected, I can scroll through them with these arrows. But once I'm happy, and that's the image which is now my selected image, if I click done, that's the one that's going to be isolated and shown to me. And there we can see it's highlighted quite strongly compared to the others. Now I'm going to bring back my screens here by clicking the F5 key, the F7 and the F8, and I can also hit the G key to bring back my grid. So this is the image that I'm going to work through the develop module and the one I've selected via that mode. Once we've used compare view to select the image we want to work through, we may not always want to go directly to the develop module. We may want to come back to this sometime later, and we're going to deal with how we can flag an image or mark an image for later use in a later video.